Hi, my name is Elaine Krieg and I'm an instructor of reading here at Houston Community College. I want to give you some information about the reading portion of the TSI assessment. Then, after you take the little sample test, you will probably want to review all of the additional reading materials before you take the actual TSI, because you will be placed into the most appropriate course based on your performance. The more prepared you are before you take the TSI, the more likely it is that you will be placed into a higher level course, which will save you a lot of time and money. The TSI will measure your reading skills according to both college and career readiness standards. So let's look at these standards as stated in the material provided by the state of Texas. Here are the categories of questions that you can expect to see on the TSI. As we look at the 4 categories of questions, think about how they might apply to college and career readiness. The TSI will measure your ability to analyze literature or documents or other written material. For this category of questions, you will need to read passages of 400 words or about a page and a half. The passages may be fiction or they may be factual in nature. These questions will ask you to demonstrate your ability to identify and analyze elements in written material, such as the elements that tell you about the structure of a paragraph, as well as the elements of written material, such as the elements that indicate an author's purpose for writing. The TSI will measure your ability to identify the main idea and supporting details in written material. For this category of questions, you will read shorter passages of 75 to 125 words in length. The passages are factual in nature and the questions are discrete, meaning that they are isolated to the passage you have just read rather than providing a question that describes a separate situation. So you might see questions like, what is the main idea of paragraph 1? Or, which of the following statements directly supports the main idea of the passage? These questions will ask you to demonstrate your ability to identify the main idea or supporting details of explicit material. Explicit means that the information you will need in order to answer each question is directly stated in the passage. The TSI will measure your ability to draw inferences from written material. For this category of questions, you will need to read passages of about a page in length. The passages are factual in nature. These questions will ask you to demonstrate your ability to make reasonable conclusions from evidence presented in the passage. Or you may need to read 2 passages and answer questions wherein you'll be asked to compare and contrast what was presented in both passages. Finally, the TSI will measure your ability to analyze an author's use of language. For this category of questions, you will read passages of about a page. The passages are factual in nature. The questions in this category will test your ability to analyze the language used in order to convey the author's purpose, tone, organizational structure, or use of evidence. In some cases, the questions will ask you to demonstrate your ability to determine the meaning of a particular word by the way it is used in the passage. The TSI is not timed, so you don't need to rush. You can read patiently and think carefully about each of your responses. Now see how well you do on the little sample quiz. If you have any trouble at all, you should consider reviewing all of the additional reading materials available to you in this site before you take the actual TSI. Good luck.